Alright, back on the Bulldozer again. It's been a little bit of time since I've worked on this. I think it's actually been almost 4 months since we last moved the machine. So last time, if you didn't see it, we got the thing moving, but the tracks are really stiff, so it moves, but we need those rails on the fenders so that the tracks don't rip the fenders off. Now, we didn't put the track tensioner in on this side. We probably should have, but we didn't. So we can't tighten up this side. I'm going to try to tighten the other side better. And then we'll have to heat this up with the weed torch and see if we can get the links freed up better. Ultimately, we're going to have to break this track at least one more time because we got to change the springs and put the tensioner in. What we might do is break the track to put the tensioner in, then tension it up, loosen the tracks up, break the track again to put in the new spring. So that's one thing on the to-do list. Another thing is oil seals under here. So I'll do those in a minute. Rear end seals. I decided to give the final drive seals their own video. The link's in the description. Alright, let's find out if this thing will take any grease at all. I have no idea. We were trying to do it with a power grease gun, and it's hard to tell. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's sealing at all. I don't even know what that is. Piece of aluminum. Looks like a rubber washer. I don't know why you would even need that. So you can see down in there, there's a taper fitting. So this is what actually seals. And then up here there's a zerk. So we need to make sure that this thing takes grease, and I don't think it does, so we're gonna have to fix that. So unfortunately, this clip lost all of its audio. So let me just explain what I was doing here real quick. Just started cleaning out the grease out of the end of this thing with a pick. Then I get a socket on it and take the grease fitting out. And it looks like it needs to be replaced. I found a new used grease zerk, so hopefully the reason it's used is not because it's broken. Because I don't know why it was taken out of whatever it was taken out of. Okay. Let's see if it takes grease. The answer is a little bit. Alright, I put a new different grease zerk on, and this one seems to work. Now, this grease zerk does not have an internal ball in it for some reason. So it's not going to stop the flow of grease coming back out of it. But I think that's okay, because this thing has one in it. A check valve, I mean. So maybe we can just use that. I mean, judging by the state of this, if the inside of this looks anywhere near as rusty as the outside of it, we might be in trouble. But hopefully it was filled with grease, so then it won't be an issue. But it did leak, which means water could have got in there. So whether or not this whole thing needs to be replaced, I have no idea. We're going to try it. Alright, gonna try to do this quick before I get rained on. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna have to buy a new one of these. Tom's working on the one from the other side, the other track tensioner, and it definitely needs to be replaced because he's trying to extract the bit of this that's left. So we're gonna have to see what we can get for parts online, I think. Unfortunately, we only have one undercarriage because the undercarriage on our second machine was already gone before we took it. And I don't mean gone like wore out, I mean somebody cut it off and took it for their machine. So our parts donor came without tracks. You know who might have one of these? Matt from Diesel Creek, because I know he's redoing a couple D4Ds. I don't know if this stuff is the same as the 9U series on the track tensioners. It might be. But I know he's doing D4D next. So I don't know if next, but I know he's doing it at some point. I would say this is not a 100% success rate, but it's also not a 0% success rate. Now is the real question. Did I do anything at all? If I did, this should push back under pressure. And I'm going to say no, I did not. So there's a hole right here on the side, and you should see grease shooting out there if I did anything at all, but it looks like I did not. Well, let me just tighten this back up so the rain doesn't wreck it any more than it already is wrecked. I think we're going to have to split these tracks and take both tensioners out. That doesn't sound fun. Maybe we'll try to use the weed torch to loosen things up before we do that. I don't know. Pardon the darkness. It's after dark now. But Tom and I just came out here to do a little bit more inspection before we order parts. We determined that this fitting is properly taking grease. And it's pumping it into the cylinder like it's supposed to. And then it's dumping it out the back side there. If you see that green stuff there, yeah, that's a big old pile of grease that just went, it went in and straight out the other end with no resistance at all. So the seals in that are completely blown out. So we're going to have to take this side apart too. So our plan is going to be, we're just going to try to run this machine as much as we can, get the tracks loose enough that they're not going to fight us taking it apart. That way, and then we can lay the track forward there, roll the idler ahead, and then we can get that tensioner out of there. So both tensioners need to be rebuilt. While I was messing around with my fittings on the workbench, Tom was working on this. So this is the track tensioner from the other side, which we already had off. This is just a plug. This is the piece from this tensioner that is the same as the piece I was working on. If you notice, it looks like it's missing something. So this busted off. We need a new one of those. So that's one part we need to buy. This one we should be able to just run. It looks fine. The taper looks fine. This, you can see the inside of the bore. It looks pretty crusty. So I think what we're going to try to do is set it up in the lathe, maybe, or maybe even the mill here. I don't know, however Tom wants to do it. But we're going to try to set this up and bore this out just a bit. I think we could take as much as Tom expected. We could take as much as maybe 30 thousandths off of each side, and still the seal would do something. But we're going to take as small of an amount as we can, but we need to get that cleaned up because that's not going to hold grease. So that's going to be the attempt. We're going to try to reuse this. I'm sure the other side is just as bad, but we're going to try to reuse them. If we can't, we got to buy new barrels, which are $250 a piece. So we don't really want to buy them if we can avoid it. But we do already have the seal kits here. We ordered those a while ago, or Tom did. And that's what this is from. So that is a seal kit there. And this is what it's got to go on. That's the piston that goes inside. So Honestly, the seal on this looks fine. This one didn't. We knew this one didn't take any grease, so that's why we took it apart. But the seal looks fine, which means it's probably just the cylinder wall that's screwed up. But we're still going to change the seals anyway because we got it out and we don't want to do this job again. Yeah, so we got the parts book out here. This is the track tensioner assembly page, and the parts we need are, it's the ball check assembly that we need, which is 5M6709. That is this piece, or what this piece should be if it was whole. All right, so let's order those parts, and my dad's going to do some machining off camera. All right, we got this track tensioner all bored out. So my dad bored it on the lathe, then honed it, and then put the new seals and everything in there, and put it back together. So the piston's in there, seals are on it, and they put it in the press, the hydraulic press, to test it. And when they press on it, it doesn't leak any grease. So it should be good to go. So the plan is to put it on the machine without taking the tracks off. We're going to see if it's possible. So here, taking off the bracket that holds the idler on. And then probably going to have to take some force off of it to get that steel that we jammed in there out.
Oh, it's under tension.
Yeah.
Hitting the frame.
Oh,
You want a punch?
Drift. Yeah. Pry it up a little. I was trying to push it below it, but. Okay. Everything should be loose now. I gotta grind them welds. Alright, so we got the track tensioners in there. So that's the cylinder. Piston's in the cylinder. We had to take off the two brackets that come in front here. This is one of them. So those are the brackets that hold the idler wheel. We had to take those off and then use this piston to push the wheel that way and clamped it. So now the piston's in where it needs to be and the cylinder's in there. Whatever, cylinder and piston are in where they need to be. And then we could put the other half on. There's 4 bolts here that bolt this other half to, and then we can put the grease circ back in and yokes on and everything, and be ready to go. Alright, here's the update. We got the pieces on here that hold on to the idler wheel. We got the end cap on the cylinder. The grease fittings are in. The bolts are in that. And now we're pushing this forward a little. We're going to tighten down on these. Wrong way.
Is this supposed to clamp right tight together?
I don't know. I don't think all the way. Sorry about the glare that I'm sure is going to be in this shot. the sun is in the direction I'm pointing the camera. But we got these bolts here. So this was, you're looking at the underside of the machine. This is the that's the idler wheel, and these are two of those bolts that hold on to that bracket that connects the idler wheel to the tensioner. So I'm underneath the machine tightening these bolts. Alright, you get the idea. I'm tightening bolts. Alright, I got these two bolts tight. And we got everything tight out here. It's all tightened up. We're gonna see if we can tension it at all. You should just push the spring this way when you crease that, right?
Yeah. Gotta hold me on. On?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
When you're working, I can't see.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, it's squirting out a little. It's not moving anything.
No, but the grease isn't squirting there. There it is. I got no tension here.
Well, let's take this out. We should loosen this so the grease comes. There's gonna be air in it.
The hole's down there, right?
Yeah, it's right here. So grease, there you go. Air came out. So we just pump it in until grease comes out, and then tighten it up. Okay.
Now the gun's out. Well, gun's out.
Alright, so we just put grease in it, and it is tensioned enough right here that we have a gap. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't leak out. Should be loose. Alright, so the tensioner on the left side of the machine's done. Now we're just doing one last inspection on the right side tensioner to make sure we understand what's going on with it. That could be. Yeah. That's just, I think it's just going to come out the end of the, yeah, that's just coming right out the end of the tube here. Alright, so we re-verified that we definitely need to rebuild this side. Since we were able to put the left side in piece by piece and assemble the track tensioner in place, we're going to see if we can take apart the track tensioner on this right side in place without breaking the track. So I don't have the footage from it, but we got that piece off that sits in here. So it bolts on there, and on the other side there, in there, and comes up to this piece. Got all those bolts out. Got a porta power on that, and porta power on this. Or not porta power, but that's just a jack. So that's currently holding the idler wheel out so it doesn't come back. And we're just gonna get all this stuff rebuilt and stick it right back in there, and we don't have to break the tracks apart. Now this looks like this should come right out, but that is super tight, and that's not coming out. So we're just gonna have to run it like this. There's a possibility we'll shear this pin, but we'll find that out when it happens, if it happens. So here's that piece inside. These bolts will not come out, so my dad's working on trying to get those out. There's two bolts, one in front, one in back here. It's really top and bottom when it's on the machine, but he's got the nuts free, but the bolt is seized in there. Just trying to get that apart. And then this piece here is the top of the, it's like the cap that goes on the cylinder for the track tensioner piston. All the bolts are out.
They're all loose.
Alright.
big challenge is that cylinder now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stuck, right?
Yeah.
So this cylinder here is stuck inside the tube in here. So you're gonna have to pour to power it out somehow, or something. Somehow it's gotta come out of there.
What's that?
You need down. I'm sure you might have block members now. Yeah.
You're putting it back in?
Yeah, putting it together, then we're just gonna run it. We got to break this free of this bore.
Yeah, everything, new pistons in, new
The seals, new seals are in. There's holding grease and everything. It just doesn't have enough force to break itself free. So just stick it back together and run it enough to.
And I think
Feel
that
so
other
bad.
Zurich is leaking. The old one.
I'm gonna buy a new one of these.
So is the seals just bad on it?
Yeah.
The bore
seal.
looks okay? Or
Yeah,
no?
this is a seal. Yeah, the bore
bore.
looks pretty good. This is a seal.
Okay.
This fell apart. And it's holding. When I pump it up, it holds, but it doesn't. It's rusted between this bore, and
Right.
I think there's a big O-ring when you pull that out to keep the water and crap out of it. And it's probably shot. It's probably full of sand and
Yeah.
rust.
All right. So we're putting the tensioner on this side. It's still stuck. The outer bore of that is stuck in this plate. It's supposed to freely move in there, and it doesn't. But we repacked the cylinder, or we repacked the piston. Now we got to pull this that way. So we got a couple jacks, a couple porta powers on it. And we're trying to push the idler out.
It's coming this way.
All right, so you can see we got this thing under as much tension as we can get it with the tools that we have available to us. Got a porta power on this side, but it's just not enough pressure to push the idler far forward enough for us to get the shim blocks in where they need to go. And you can see the chain's got quite a bend in it, but it's stuck like that.
Chain relax a little, that would help a lot.
So rather than try to move the idler out, we're just cutting some thinner shim blocks. So that's the old shim block there with the holes in it. The piece we're cutting now is going to be the new one. You just gotta cut it to size and drill some holes. Be about a half an inch thinner, I think. Yeah. Should give us what we need to assemble everything. And then hopefully running the machine will break everything free. Alright, so this is pretty much all assembled here. Got to tighten these down. Had to get creative with washers. But we need more washers because the bolts are still the same length, but we made these blocks smaller. We cut those and drilled them. Same thing on that side. So we got new shims in there. So it's all bolted together. Okay, back. You're good. You're good. You're good. You can keep going. Now you can just go.
You can't just see, or you gotta hire a midget. I couldn't get my feet on the brakes.
All right, we got the bulldozer parked. We backed it up so that the curve here is on the sprocket, and hopefully we're going to be able to knock these in farther and drive a bigger pin in here because this pin's small. That way we can put a lot of force on this track and try to get it broke free. We just don't want to put a lot of stress on that little pin because we'll probably shear it off.
Not likely.
I don't think it moved at all.
Well, they moved in. That moved. This one slid in a quarter of an inch.
Oh, it moves.
So where are we?
If I can do that, then we're pretty...
Yeah, you're gonna have a hole.
I don't know. I think maybe if we jack here. Is that tight in there? Still not tight, but if we lift on this, then maybe it'll...
Yeah. put the next size bigger pin in.
If we got one.
That's 10 degrees. You think it should be less?
It's probably fine.
Okay, so this is a little bit bigger diameter pin than the one we took out, and we're cutting a taper on it here so that we'll be able to more easily drive it into the chain. Because currently the two links we're trying to drive this through have an offset between them. So this taper will help us drive it through both of them at once.
Alright, so we got that taper cut in there on this pin. We cut it on the lathe in there. And now we should be able to drive it in. No problem. You want to try to follow it with the other pin?
So I was wondering if I should have,
Well, the other one's got a lead on it. You want to just try?
if we should have emeryed it. You don't know how that bore, maybe that bore picked up.
Well, we could pop it back out easily enough. So,
Where's the red truck?
it's at Graffland.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He parked that there. He parked his other Ford there, the other big Ford.
Oh, just to leave them
He's
there
got
for
them just
this?
so that they'll be parking here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you went in to wash your hands to come out here and
Well, I got them cleaner, and they'll be clean for a little while. Alright, this pin went in so easy, we decided we're going to try to put in the actual pin. We have a brand new master pin for this. But we got to prep it first, so we're going to try to clean out these bores good.
There's a big burr on the other side that needs more than sandpaper to get it off, so I got a die grinder in there.
Did you do this side? No, but I don't think that side needed anything.
Huh?
I don't think it needed anything. It feels
Give me a little
good.
lead. Give me a little lead on the outside.
Alright, the camera died there, but we tried driving the main pin in and got it stuck. So now we're trying to drive it back out again.
I think it's going. Because I can see this.
Drop that on your toe, you know what happens.
I did.
Steel
Fortunately.
toe. Steel toe.
Yeah, I'm afraid that pin is going to fly out and hit me in the nuts.
I don't think it's going to fly out. How close? It's going, right?
Well, that's what you got.
Yep. Moved right? Yeah, I think it moved. Oh, sure. You want to hit it or you want to hold this?
I'll hit it. My dad was doing this job. That piece, you know, it's mushroom, got him in the lip.
Yeah.
He said that piece was in his lip when the day he died. He had it for you could feel the lump in there.
Yeah. Good thing he never had to go through an MRI.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on a minute. Let's see where it is.
Did you mark it?
Yeah, it moved quite a bit. Thing shoots out, doesn't hit me. I think you got it.
Rattled back. This one's tight now.
Obviously, it's too tight still.
Yeah, comes in 10,000.
Huh?
Can't get the pin in?
It won't fit. They already cut these and welded them, so they're not even the right shape anymore.
So it doesn't even matter what you're doing?
Yeah.
Got it.
We're just gonna get it in there and weld it.
How long you been at this?
I don't know. A little bit.
You're recording them.
That's loose now. Well, I ain't gonna get stuck. Alright, I guess I didn't turn the camera on. But we got this pin most of the way in. It's into this far, but it's not in this side of this link. And you can see it's offset and it doesn't even want to start. We haven't even gotten to where the taper is. So we're going to try moving the machine. Alright, now it's lined up, so my dad's tapping in the pin with a hammer. And we're rolling the pin back up top so we can do a final adjustment. Alright, the pin's in, so we're gonna run the machine back and forth a few times, trying to break the tracks free a little bit better. We got to be careful when we're going backwards to make sure we don't catch a grouser on that rub rail that we welded on to the fender. Alright, well, we got the tracks tensioners in and kind of working. Thing drives back and forth fine. We got the actual correct pins in it, so now it's just a matter of running it a while until everything loosens up. That's going to be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.